today on 15 on 15.
Help the island drive tourism by voting Aruba's Baby Beach as the best Caribbean beach. Plus, what you drink can have a significant impact on your weight loss goals. And for the third year, Aruba Doot, the island's biggest volunteer action, is back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. There's certainly tough competition out there when it comes to Caribbean destinations. That's why we need to do all we can to support Aruba as well expose it to the world. Everyone and anyone can go online to USA Today Reader's Choice Travel Awards to vote for Baby Beach. Annually, Reader's Choice Travel Awards reveals the best of the best in the Caribbean. Currently, if you go to 10best.com, there are 2 categories on the homepage you can vote for. One is for Best Place for Wildlife. The other is to vote for the Best Caribbean Beach. A panel of Caribbean travel experts for USA Today selected 20 of the best and most beautiful sandy expanses in the region. And now it is your turn to vote. You can vote once per day until February 2nd. Now, Aruba only has 1 beach on the list nominated, while other islands have several, so make sure to vote. Go to 10best.com and click on Baby Beach Aruba. You would be surprised at how much these types of publicity impact travelers' choice. In other local news, since January 1st, 2015, the new dog policy has been enforced. Prior to this law, though, being implemented, several sectors on the island took it upon themselves to make an impact to better the situation of stray dogs on the island. Bukudi and Tata Beach Resorts is one of them. They fully support the dog policy. Bukudi and Tata Beach Resorts is in full support of the new dog policy. They want to remind all pet owners that it is required by law to keep your dog on house grounds in a gated area. If you do not have a gate, purchase a lope line, which allows the animal to roam in the yard but still being leashed and cannot wander off to the streets. Remember to keep plenty of water and food around for your pet. Animal abuse is a punishable offense, so if you decide to take in a pet, you have the responsibility to be a good pet owner. Authorities are on the streets visiting various neighborhoods, and those who aren't complying will be fined. Besides for endorsing the new dog policy, Bukudi and Tata Beach Resorts have done their part to contribute. They offer a pet adoption program to help alleviate the problem of all abandoned dogs. The property pays for expenses to allow the employees to adopt a dog as long as they have a fence or lope lane to keep the dog safe in their yard. Furthermore, the resort also helps with expenses for tourists whenever they want to adopt dogs from Aruba that they wish to take back home with them. More hotels and other companies should follow suit. ATV's network affiliate NBC will be airing the Miss Universe pageant on January 25th, 2015 live. Dijan Zimmerman is Aruba's representation. Let's learn more about the candidate with the official Miss Universe interview.
Hi, Dijan Zimmerman, Paradera, Miss Universe Aruba. Aruba is known for their beautiful beaches and it's just so nice. It relaxes you, you know, it's warm. People come to our place just to enjoy the beaches. I was born in Holland and then we moved to Curaçao because my father is from Curaçao and my mother is from Aruba. When I was 12 years old, we moved to Aruba. Growing up in different places, I've learned so much about every country I've been to. My family is a very happy family, very humble. We enjoy each other's company. I really miss them right now. I have a passion for dogs. I really someday want to open my own animal shelter. It's actually amazing because every time I walk a dog, like for 20 minutes, it's like my relaxing time. I love to sing, but it's a hidden passion, so not everybody in Aruba knows that, but I really love it. I usually do karaoke. My personality, I'm very spontaneous, I'm a happy person, I'm very determined. So if I really want something, I'll go for it. My expectations of Miss Universe are very high. I want to grow more as a person, I want to be more focused and try to fight for the crown.
All the best to Dijon. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Chocolate lovers won't want to miss this after the break. A 3D printer that prints your designs and shapes in chocolat. Thank you for staying tuned to 15 on 15 and welcome back from the break. Food gets a lot of play in the weight loss discussion, and rightfully so. But while solids are obviously a major source of calories and fat, your drinking habits can also make you gain weight. People don't evaluate what they drink in the same way, so they don't realize how much they're consuming. Here are different ways your beverage choices are making it harder to achieve your weight loss goals. Believe it or not drinking enough can make you gain weight. We're talking about H2O here. Water is an antioxidant. Specifically, the hydrogen in the drink helps to protect your body from free radicals. Most people don't get enough of it. Many people confuse thirst signals for hunger. The worst part is that your body can become accustomed to dehydration, so it tries to run on less than it needs. And then there is overdoing it with beer. That is another way that liquids can tip the scale. Alcohol is generally presented as a total weight gain trap, but there are still ways to indulge without doing too much damage to your waistline. The best choices are wine, champagne, and some type of spirit with soda. Beer is a little trickier. Beer can cause an inflammatory response that leads to large fluctuations in weight, or at the very least, intense bloating. Also, there's diet sodas. Although they have the word diet in the name, diet sodas are just as bad for you as the regular stuff, so lay off of it if you are trying to drop a few pounds. Let's switch over onto a different topic. Here's a question for parents of 2. Was it harder to conceive the second child? Well, there are explanations for that. According to gynecologists, plenty of women find it harder to conceive a second child when having no issues conceiving the first. Second fertility is more common than primary fertility in women. There are a few reasons as to why. The first being age. Obviously, time will have passed between trying to get pregnant the first and second time around. Starting from age 32, fertility begins to decline slightly, then more rapidly by 35, and at 40, it takes a plunge. Number 2, weight fluctuations plays a role as well. Whether you packed on the pounds after your first pregnancy or overworked yourself to drop the baby weight, all in all, drastic weight gain or loss may mess with your hormones, which ultimately impacts your pregnancy attempts. Also, you may feel like you're having a ton of sex when you're actively trying to get pregnant, but there is a good chance you're still having less sex than you did before your first pregnancy. Between having a child at home, time constraints, and exhaustion, the numbers might not stack up the way they did when you had an active, child-free sex life. Moving forward, chocolate lovers, meet CocoJet. CocoJet is a 3D printer developed thanks to a partnership between 3D Systems and the Hershey Company. The CocoJet was recently unveiled at the Consumer Electronics Show 2015. The CocoJet simply allows you to print your very own designs using chocolate. 3D printing is now the way to print, but this is taking it to a whole new level here. You can pick any shapes and designs, then choose whether you'd like it to come out made in dark, milk, or white chocolate. Currently, there are no words on the street as to when people will be actually to get their hands on a CocoJet, but the fact that a fully functional version actually exists is pretty exciting. Let's take a very quick break. This is what's coming up next for you. When we return, Holland, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, along with other islands, will be volunteering on the same 2 days in March. Find out what Aruba Doot has in store for this year next. The kingdom's biggest volunteering action is set to take place in March. Within a 2-day period, more than 2,000 individuals on this island alone will lend their strength and time to give back to the community. Let's see what Aruba Doot has in store for us this year. Aruba joined the volunteering action in 2013. Then, 65 organizations posted projects that needed additional manpower. 2,300 volunteers responded. Last year, the action grew. 134 projects were posted by various organizations requesting for volunteer assistance, and 2,800 people responded. For those who don't know what it is, explain what Aruba Doet is all about.
Okay, Aruba Doet is the biggest volunteer action on Aruba, and it's also the biggest volunteer action in the Dutch Kingdom, because it's the first initiative was taken in Holland. It's called Yentl Lieuw. Then Bonaire joined this action under the name Bondoet. Aruba joined last year. Curadoet, dus Curaçao. They came along with Curadoet, and this year we also have Statia and St. Martin joining it. So it's really getting a kingdom action. Yeah, and for Aruba it's the biggest event.
During March 20th and the 21st, schools, organizations, sports club, and more can request for volunteers to help them out with different small projects. They may need assistance with a new paint job or a few chaperones for a day trip with seniors and more.
It's all about organizations coming up with small projects that can be done in 2 days, 1 or 2 days. It could be like material projects like painting, like fixing a school plane, building like a place to sit for students or to sit in the shadow. But you also can like organize a social activity. So you could think about an elderly home that is organizing a day trip, or a location of physical or mentally handicapped people that plan an activity that is breaking the routine. So that's all about doing stuff that you don't get done normally, and it's all about thinking about projects and calling for the community to join.
As an Aruban and as the director of Sede Aruba, Daniel Tecklenborg says in terms of community work, this is probably the most efficient and cost-effective weekend for the entire island.
Now, Aruba Doet, the first thing is you can do a lot with effort that is shared by the community. So collective impact, I call it collective impact, but it's all about human capital. So it's like if you just count how many hours of volunteer work are done in 1 weekend of Aruba Doet, that's a lot of money worth. So that's the point. In short time, you can make a lot of changes, and that's the idea of Aruba Doet. It's also for all those that's maybe think volunteer work is not for them, or they have no time to contribute. So this is your chance to find out what it's all about.
Schools, organizations, and sport clubs can post their projects online at arubadoet.com until January 31st, 2015. You may also request for financial assistance on the website. Starting February 1st is when volunteers can start signing up for various actions that they would like to be a part of. And on that note, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We'll be back here with fresh new topics tomorrow night starting at 7:15 p.m. right here on Channel 15 ATV. We'll see you then.